It
Okay.
happened when we lived in Buffalo.
Okay.
And it was a major impact on our lives, no question about it. We had 5 people working in our house. We had a cook and an upstairs and a downstairs and a man that used to drive the car and all that stuff. My mother never drove. So my mother's father was the one who was the oldest member of New York Stock Exchange. And he died right before the war. Before the Depression. He died in 1927, I guess. And he was 84. So my mother had her own income from stocks and stuff. Like a lot of people were in this mess. And my father wasn't working, and I'm not quite sure how that happened with 5 kids. Well, there's nobody to ask anymore, so I'll never know. But then he had to go to work, because then there wasn't any money anymore. And we had to sell our house. We had a pretty big house in Buffalo, and he had to pay the bank to take it. That's how bad things were. And we used to listen to it on the radio, and there were songs like "Brother, Can You Spare a Dime?" That was a big issue. That was what people talked about. Happy Days Are Here Again. Movies were a big thing. That's the only thing you could do. Movies were 10 cents, I think. It was very cheap to go to the movies. So then Pop went away for a year because he got this job in New York, and he wanted to make sure that the job was secure before he moved this whole mob someplace else. I remember we went in Buffalo when my father was away. My mother took us to a place called Lobby's Old Spain. It's a great big restaurant in Buffalo for Thanksgiving dinner. Mm-hmm. And I remember we went by there, and we were going down the main street, and there was a family with all the stuff out on the street. And it was awful. So it was a major impact on everybody.